They don't return her call. And she swear, goddamn, if I that man cutting off his ball. And then she heads for the clinic and she gets some static walking through the door. They call her a killer and they call her a sinner and they call her a whore. God forbid you ever had to walk a mile in her shoes. 'Cause then you really might know what it's like to have to choose. Then you really might know what it's like. 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 I seen a rich man beg, I seen a good man sin, I seen a tough man cry. I seen a loser win and a sad man grin. I heard an honest man lie. I seen the good side of bad and the downside of up and everything between. I licked the silver spoon, drank from the golden cup, and smoked the finest green. I stroked the baddest dimes these couple of times before I broke their heart. You know where it ends, yo, it usually depends on where you start. This kid named Max used to get fat stacks out on the corner with drugs. He liked to hang out late, he liked to get shit-faced to keep the pace with thugs. Until late one night there was a big gunfight and Max lost his head. He pulled out his chrome 45, talked some shit and wound up dead. Now his wife and his kids are caught in the midst of all of his pain. You know, it comes that way, at least that's what they say.
Excuse me.
God forbid you ever had to wake up to hear the news. Then you really might know what it's like to have to lose. Then you really might know what it's like. Then you really might know what it's like. Then you really might know what it's like to have to lose.
Heard it through the grapevine, my new neighbor don't like my big red barn. A 47 Ford bullet holes in the door, broke down motor in the front yard. I gotta have a mind to paint a plywood sign and nail it up on a knotted pine tree, saying I was here first, this is my piece of dirt, and your rambling don't rattle me. Some people care about what other people think, worry about what they say. Let a little gossip coming from a loose tip ruin a perfect day. Saying blah, 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 just a jack in their jaws, gotta let it roll off of my back. I don't give a darn what other people think. What do you think about that?
Yes, that is a beautiful background. How you doing, man?
What's up, baby?
What's going on?
What
I'm
am I?
like,
What am I seeing?
Yeah, I wanted to see how that looked to you, so I queued this up as a new way so I can play. This is a file, but I can play YouTube and stuff on here. This is actually a song to support.
Oh shit.
Yeah, they're talented young ladies. So you could see that fine, right?
Oh yeah, that was beautiful.
Oh, cool. Yeah, all the ooh, nice. This round, the final round's heating up pretty nicely out here.
What do we got, buddy?
Jacobson Ryder, round 12 of 12. Let me see if I can figure out the YouTube portion real quick. Share screen. Let me figure this out again. Advanced portion of screen. Slides is a virtual background. Portion is a screen. Fuck. I'll have to play with this. Yeah, that's not what I was looking to do. I'll have to play with this and figure it out. But there's a way to actually get the to get some YouTube up here so we can actually put on some highlights, talk about some fights, some of the best knockouts, all that sort of stuff.
Right.
I'll get it figured out, but now's not the time to do it. How's your day been, man? What's going on with you?
Good, man. Just chilling. Been looking forward to shooting the shit. So
There's so much going on. I mean, we're apparently heading into World War III. How exciting is that?
yeah, I heard something about. I wasn't sure if that was just a like some parody in a Super Bowl commercial coming up or what.
You would think it would be a parody, but the same clowns that gave us Afghanistan feel that they learned so much and they did such a great job that we shouldn't trust them with World War III against the second largest nuclear power in the world over a country, Ukraine. I mean, after all, for Ukraine has been there for us through thick and thin. I mean, we'd all be speaking British if it weren't for Ukraine having been with us from the get-go. 1776, the Ukrainian army, they helped us take out the redcoats and save this country and write the Declaration of Independence. Spanish-American War, Ukraine helped us win that war. At the Alamo, the Ukrainians were almost there. They tried to rush and get there to help us at the Alamo. They were just a bit too late. But they've been with us in World War I, World War II, or everything. We'd be speaking German or British if it weren't Ukraine. So let's just blow up the whole world over. Seems like the right thing to do.
Right. Hey, do me a favor. Do me a favor, real quick, just to make.
Yeah.
Can you see me? Because all I can see, I see you, and then I see a computer.
A stupid thing. Yeah, I'm trying to get rid of that Fargan thing. I just did something to play with it, and
no, I thought it was me. I didn't know.
Oh, that's me fucking around and doing something.
Oh, okay. Forget about it.
No, I'm not going to forget about it because it really is pretty obnoxious. Let me see if I can figure this files. Let me pull some. Let me put the girls back up there and see if that works. Computer, audio, file, video. Let's just go with video. Let's cut that out and let's put the broads back up for a second. Z broads. Okay, and then I can get out of that now. Okay. New share. Slides is virtual content from a second camera. Not that shit. Not that shit. Not that shit. Basic. Yeah, I guess the way to do it would be. Let me see if this works for you. While we're fucking around, I mean, I'll probably.
Hey, Eric, do me a favor. I have a really important phone call. I'm just gonna jump off and jump back on.
Yeah, that works. Because go for it.
Bye bye. God damn it! I can't even figure out how to get off this fucking thing.
Did you do you see what happens when you hit pause? It's
All right,
fantastic.
I'm gonna.
You
I'm gonna
see
put-
when you hit pause, this is what happens to your screen. Did you know that? Can you see it?
no shit.
Yes, you become Mike Sawyer Lang and fuck your kids are fucking with you really well over there. They're doing a bang up job.
Okay.
So whenever you go on pause, there it is. I screenshotted it because I was like, I don't think he knows about this. And you know,
they're assholes.
little fucking assholes. These kids, everyone's like, yeah, have kids. It's fantastic. They're little assholes. These things. I mean, they're fantastic. They're assholes.
Give me a second. I'm gonna come right back.
Okay, do
Something
your thing.
happened. I gotta.
Ryder with a nice win. Good for you. Good for you, young man.
Into the room, passing out $100 bills, and it kills and it thrills like the horns on my Silverado grill. And I buy the bar up around the crowd, and everybody's getting down in this town. Ain't never gonna be the same. 'Cause I saddle up my horse and I ride into the city. I make a lot of noise 'cause the girls they are so pretty. Riding up and down Broadway on my old stud Leroy, and the girls say, save a horse, ride a cowboy. Everybody says, save a horse, ride a cowboy. Well, I don't give a dang about nothing. I'm singing and bling-blinging while the girls are drinking. Long necks down, and I wouldn't trade old Leroy or my Chevrolet for your Escalade or your freak parade. I'm the only John Wayne left in this town, and I saddle up my horse and I ride into the city. I make a lot of noise 'cause the girls they are so pretty. Riding up and down Broadway on my old son Leroy, and the girls say, save a horse, ride a cowboy.
How'd your call go?
It went well. That's the situation. I got a buddy that I'm real close to. His father just passed away, and it's fuck. You got to answer that call. You know, if he wants to talk tonight, you got to answer that call.
And how old was his pops?
I'm probably 80, something like that.
Yeah, that's a good life. But yeah, that's rough. I mean, losing a parent is not fun for anybody. I'm having the hardest fucking time. They make buying pay-per-view so fucking convoluted. I've been trying to buy this goddamn UFC pay-per-view all day, and there's no way to just buy it. It's like, okay, you got to wait till the event's over and then buy it. But why don't you just offer the ability right now to purchase it without? You think they'd have this shit down?
There's got to be a reason. I mean, you can't. It's not because they're assholes. You know, what I mean, there's got to be a reason that makes sense why they're doing it.
They want to sell it clearly, and maybe the way to do it is to go to ESPN Plus and go into ESPN. But again, I was in ESPN Plus. They just usually with a big pay-per-view, they'll have a banner within Hulu that says buy now. Okay, so I'm in ESPN and now I see so I had to go to ESPN, not into ESPN Plus, which is interesting. I had to go into ESPN. It says, okay, I have to have a subscription. Motherfucker. Okay, let me go to activate this shit. So I was thinking about this Jonathan Allen thing the other day. Did you send him that video, by the way, of us talking shit?
I did. I gotta appreciate it, Jim, which is, you know, he's getting hundreds of that shit. So I'm not waiting for big. What's that?
Go fuck yourself. Was that his response?
No, he was like, thanks, Jim. So when I see him again, we'll talk about it. But you know, I'd like to show my support. I respect the shit out of him, and you know, anything that, you know, trying to paint him in any other brush than what he is bullshit move. You don't do that, especially to, you know, this is a hero of ours. This is one of the few homegrown guys that we got in this area. So.
Yeah, and when you get put on the spot and asked a question like that, that's a fucking you had all episode to think about it and a night to think about it. And still, it's a tough question, you know. And he's on the fly spitting it out, and still was you know, I'd say nice enough to think about his grandfather.
Yeah,
being in a room. You know,
the guy's a decent guy. He's straight down the middle, no controversy, no nothing. And they're trying to fuck with it. And
people love to bring down celebrities, athletes. They like to bring down people like it's a fucking game, like it's a game sport. You know, let's bring anybody who's doing better than me. Let's pile on and, you know, talk about how they suck. And it's really a you know, sign of people who do that. Really, they're the ones that are having really rough lives. But there's enough of them where they're like hyenas once they get going. They just start going after the carcass, trying to take people out. Yeah, I was thinking it'd be fun, you know, to have, you know, a younger Hitler with Whoopi Goldberg and his father and his grandfather at the dinner table. So Whoopi could find out a little bit more about, you know, this whole plan that Hitler had for ethno cleansing and a pure race that she doesn't think exists. But she's another one. I mean, she shouldn't have been fucking suspended for that. You know, she's gonna get enough shit, and enough people will educate her on, you know, what Hitler actually said and why he said it, so that she can figure out what the real history is there. But
what if she doesn't? What if she doesn't?
If she doesn't, she doesn't.
The only reason why she should get kicked off or blackballed is because she can't command the viewers.
Why you got to say that term blackball? Why can't it be white ball?
Because it's blackball, and that's it. The white balls hit the other balls.
Yeah, that's racial. Everything.
No, but I don't give a shit what the opinion is. Okay, if it's an opinion and it doesn't hurt other people, what the fuck, man? That's what makes our planet go around.
Yeah, no, but you're not allowed to have opinions anymore.
It's so boring. It's so boring.
Well, it's narcissism. If you think that other people should wrap their opinion around what you think the world should be, then you are the problem. You're a fucking problem. Your opinion is your opinion. What other people say and do is none of your business. Even if they're talking shit about you, which happens.
And we're obsessed with making sure that nothing bad ever happens. You know,
Trying to control the uncontrollable.
Control the uncontrollable. Absolutely. It's, I don't know, man.
Trying to control the uncontrollable will lead to tremendous anxiety. You know, there's so many things going on. All you can do, and that's where religion does come in, you know, as a very powerful thing. And that's probably why the global overlords don't like people to be religious, but it gives you a sense of control, because you can just say, hey, I'm going to leave this in the greater power's hands. And it takes away that fear and the anxiety, because throughout history, you know, these large governments have used fear as a way to control population, and even came out in the UK. They've admitted that they had meetings to ratchet up fear. And we also saw it in Project Veritas's CNN tapes. You know, the whole thing was, let's ratchet up the fear, because people will then do stupid shit and not ask any questions, because you make people all discombobulated. They don't know what's what. Fear of the unknown, fear of this. Oh, everything's new. And then all of a sudden, after this is my favorite part, by the way, is after an entire 2 years of this, you know, all of a sudden, those truckers in Canada happen. And we just heard like a month and a half ago that everybody unvaccinated was going to die in this horrible winter of death right before Christmas. And now everything, hey, let's get back to normal. Let's lift everything because the science has changed. That's the narrative. What science?
I feel like I'm on fucking candid camera. It's
clown show.
It is. It's insane.
I mean, even people the whole time going, you know what? People are really trying to do their best. You know, the government has our best interest in mind. They're now starting to go, wait, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck? What do you mean take masks? What do you mean end everything? And there's some hardcores that are in a real religion right now that are still driving around with masks on in their car alone. You know, those fucking people that should be locked up. But those people, you know, how are they going to react to normal until at least the next election, and then they can clamp down?
What is normal? What is normal? When normal comes back, what is normal? And how many relationships are irreparable because of this?
What do you mean with relationships? Do you mean personal relationships, interpersonal, or with other countries?
No, I'm talking about in our country. The morale that has been lowered because of this, all this is stealing our fucking identity. This is breaking us down.
Yeah, it's stolen our identity. It's stolen generations. These kids are suffering.
Yeah.
You know, there's so many stories of kids not being able to recognize faces anymore. Their language is being stunted, you know, by not being able to see, you know, the mouth move, which is a big part.
You can't have a conversation. I mean, I have to say 3 or 4 times, excuse me, what'd you say? Because maybe, you know, I've become so accustomed to reading lips, I can't tell what these people are saying.
Have you are you guys still wearing masks in Northern Virginia?
I ain't.
Yeah, I haven't worn it. I mean, Florida's been off that shit for so long. I have no idea.
My mother ain't. I got me and my mother are the 2 people that will not fucking wear masks. Even the old man, he'll put it on just to avoid conflict. But
you need to start welcoming conflict. It's fun. I mean, nobody's ever said anything, but still, it's fun. If you get one of those people that starts yelling at you, you can play with that and bat them around like a cat a little bit. You know, get them all worked up, and go about their day. They'll feel better about themselves if they build that heart rate up to the point where they're going to have a heart attack. That makes them feel alive. Give them what they want. Give them what they want. A good freak out. You know, they'll go home and be like, I told that person how to live. Fuck yeah, look at me. My life is complete. My day is complete. And then they'll cry themselves to sleep, you know, because their life is, you know, really sad and miserable. But that one moment will make them very happy. You know, they change the world. They save lives when they yell at people for that shit. You know, did you watch the did you watch that Russell Brand clip of him on the Joe Scarborough? Do you know Scarborough?
Yeah, but I didn't look at that. I've been fucking running all day. I was actually, but I did look up something. Shit, hold on. I'm trying to do something. We were just talking about how to be a fucking pro.
No, it's okay. We all need to get better, but tonight's not going to be the night we're going to get better. We'll get better later.
Oh, no. No.
Russell Brand.
Now this is nice. God damn.
Joe Scarborough. Wait, what the hell? How the fuck do you a Scarborough morning and with his burrow? How the fuck do I spell burrow? He apparently killed his intern. That's what the oh, there it is. Morning Joe. Oh, it's so good, Jimmy.
This is sweet.
Can you hear it?
Turn it up.
So I might not have the audio coming through.
I got it.
Okay.
I'm just saying. I just thought maybe I could loosen up a little, show a little more chest hair. And he said maybe I should.
Are you familiar with Russell Brand, Jim?
Yeah, at a distance.
He's a fucking genius. You're gonna see it here.
Sort of your freedom is afforded to you.
If you can, try to turn it up.
It's all the way up. I don't think the oh, hold on.
Disrespect your program. Okay, no. You did ask to see.
No, I did, and I like
fellow English woman.
Obliged. Key boots recently. So
Yes.
It was
Good.
oh,
You just disrespected the table.
giant gem.
Hold on. I know what I need to do. I need to.
Whatever you just did worked.
sorry. Okay.
I'm only flesh and blood. I've got instincts.
Oh, okay. Well,
Tell me what you need to know.
I'm just going to have a drink here. Caddy K, question. Messiah Complex. That's the name of your tour.
Yes.
Do you have one?
No. It's
Oh.
mental illness.
Right. You don't have that either?
I hope that I'm here as a fully qualified professional gentleman.
None of us are
Free from mental illness.
free from it.
None of you. This is a hotbed of neurosis and
That sounds like-
psychosis.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh my word, I'm grateful to be here.
Yeah. But Joe's not here, so there are no messiahs.
That's true. Although we actually bring more mental illness to the table than we admit, at least on this side here, for sure.
On this side.
So tell me about the tour. You're starting in Abu Dhabi. Is that where it began?
Yeah, it's in a lot of Middle Eastern nations and South Africa and all across Europe, and of course in your wonderful country and in our country. I'm very, it's a really good tour. I'm talking about Malcolm X, Che Guevara, Gandhi, and Jesus Christ, and how these figures are significant culturally, and how icons are appropriated and used to designate consciousness and meaning, particularly posthumously.
And what brings all those people together?
They're all people that died for a cause. They're all people whose icons are used to designate meaning, perhaps not in the manner in which they intended.
That sounds dead serious.
Yeah, well, it's funny when you do it as a
It's
joke.
funny.
I'm totally seriously. I'm sort of doing it on stage.
Can't we get 30 seconds now?
Well, not really, love. I mean,
Gandhi,
this is
go.
how it works. Gandhi, go.
Go.
I hope that's not your message to Gandhi and the people of India.
You know, it's funny though, because I travel a lot. And
All these people are at work, are they?
yeah, they're
Yeah.
working.
They're just at work.
Well, no,
Work more quietly.
they're Facebooking, actually.
What are they doing?
Facebooking.
They're Facebooking.
Yeah.
Shopping.
I bet they can't look at pornography. I bet it's blocked on their website. Huh?
Oh, I don't know.
Stay focused. But they're allowed to look at, if they wanted to, they can tweet, they can Facebook.
Yeah, they have to. That's part of
They're
their
probably
job.
tweeting right now.
They're tweeting themselves senseless back there.
Yeah.
Lovely. That's to create the atmosphere of we're a hotbed of news.
It's a working news. Yeah.
They're actually actors.
They're fully qualified actors.
Yeah.
They're all just now looking for acting work.
So people, I mean, you have a pretty broad range here. I'm going to ask a serious question.
Here's where it gets nasty.
Okay, I'll try.
Go ahead.
Everyone asks, what do you like better, TV, movies, or stand-up? Which one's more difficult? I mean, going on stage, I think is probably pretty tough. A movie can be boring because you shoot a thing 100 times. TV is what it is.
There are challenges in all of those different disciplines. The thing I enjoy most is stand-up comedy because you're direct with your audience. You can't be misinterpreted. People can't get confused. You know what happens if you work in media? People like to change the information so that it suits a particular agenda. If you're in a room with people, then what you're saying is clear. If you say something that people are confused about, you can explain it to them then. If you say something as a joke, people can't pretend that you're saying it seriously. So I like having direct communication with people because I believe people are very, very intelligent, but the information gets manipulated a lot and people like to cause fake stirs and stuff.
You're funny, the accent, when I see him in person, it's totally fine. Forgetting Sarah Marshall or the TV show, it's fine. But on satellite radio in the car, I can't understand a single joke you say.
What the fuck?
Can you understand me?
Yes, but no, I'm sorry, when I'm driving in the car and everyone's laughing in the audience of the radio, I'm like, I have no idea what he just
It's
said.
best you focus on your driving. Right. You're a man, you don't want to be distracted by humour. You might crash into a
Right, okay,
pedestrian.
so it's a good thing.
I think it's probably for the best.
I think I'm just this is my first
Brand experience.
yeah. I think it's not listening to him, it's experience. It's just sort of taking it all in.
You're talking about me as if
These smug motherfuckers.
you know I'm from a country that's...
They're talking about him like he's not there.
Just sort of admiring the whole, it's the whole thing.
Well, thank you for your casual objectification.
It's an experience.
I'm glad that it is positive.
Now he's like, okay, let me just turn it on these fuckers.
Any other questions?
You've become nervous. Why are you nervous?
Really?
Helen, you're a powerful woman. You've got a lovely job. What seems to be the trouble?
I don't know.
You've got hair like Princess Diana.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Well, I've never
When she was alive, it wasn't being offensive.
Here's a little subtext.
Yes.
I'm petrified of her. And you have her on her heels.
She's just moved down the
I
other
absolutely love this. Keep
Willie,
What seems to be the trouble, love?
No, I'm good.
Well, now we're going to do a bit of therapy. Would you do therapy with Willie Brandt?
With who?
Willie Brandt, would you do therapy?
Willie Brandt.
I don't think that's where he's heading. Okay. I'm all right.
You shouldn't say he when a person is present. You should refer to the person by their name. That's basic good
That
manners.
is where Willie is heading.
Who is Willie?
I don't know. Okay, Russell Brand.
Is this what you all do for a living?
Yes.
Okay, well, I'm here to.
Professional.
Okay, well, let me help you. I'm here to promote a tour called Messiah Complex. It's here for the people of America. I want the people of America to come and see me do stand-up. Go to russellbrand.tv where you can purchase tickets to see me. People, I'm sure, are typically very, very good at their job. What is it? You're conveying news to the people of America.
Yeah.
People of America, we're going to be okay. Everything's all right. These are your trusted anchors.
Leaning.
Is that a news link? Here's your papers. I'll shuffle them for you.
Shuffle. Look,
Give us that.
That's good. Pen. You need a pen.
Okay, coming up later. Thank you very much, Kat. Okay, we're going to be talking about the situation with Edward Snowden. This whistleblower, is it good what he's done for America, or are our secrets being jeopardized by his intentions? We're going to be talking about that. Also, Bradley Manning. Is Bradley Manning an American hero, or is he compromising the safety of American troops? We care about your views here on Morning Joe. We'll be talking about those later. Here with me are Brian and Kat. Brian, nice time. What do you think about Edward? What do you think about the situation with Snowden? Have you got anything to hide? Should we be concerned about the revelations that are occurring?
I don't know what's wrong with you. I understand everything he said.
No, it's because you're looking at him. When you don't see him and you don't see their lips.
I understand the whole thing.
Stop saying he. I'm present. Russell. What's wrong with your manners?
You're good.
Be polite.
I'm coming in tomorrow with a big necklace and I'm opening it
Look
up.
beyond the superficial. That's the problem with current affairs. You forget about what's important. You allow the agenda to be decided by superficial information. What am I saying? What am I talking about? Don't think about what I'm wearing. These things are redundant.
I'm
superficial.
Okay.
Don't be distracted. What do you think that gesture means, the way you're touching that bottle? What does that indicate? What is that? What's the subtext of that?
We gotta go to break.
You need to lose that ring, Mika, because it don't mean nothing to you. She's grasping for the shaft. She's a shaft grasper.
What a fucking pro.
A legend.
What a fucking pro.
Russell Brand.
Messiah Complex.
Thank you. The tour Messiah Complex.
Took them to school.
You're ovulating.
I'm ovulating. Oh my God.
You're ovulating, he ends with. Now, keep in mind, this is
Took him, oh my God, took him to school.
just once they started in with that superficial shit, talking about his accent being a problem, talking about his clothes, he just said, all right, enough of these. And then they got his name wrong. Like, you know what? Enough of these clowns. I'm going to take fuckers. I'm going to
The
take these fuckers right to
scorched earth.
scorched earth. And she did want to fuck him, by the way. You could tell that she was trying to bang him. Like, she was all discombobulated.
Absolutely. And that's what's so
that's
so
her
satisfying.
husband's show. Like that, Joe's her husband. They do it the show. Joe's not there for a day, and he goes, take that wedding ring off. It means nothing to you. It's fucking brilliant. The guy is I watch a lot of his stuff. You know, I haven't listened to like a full podcast, but I watch 15, 20-minute clips when they pop up, and he's a fucking genius. I mean, the guy's really next level. Russell Brand,
I saw him in Save. All he ever did was annoy me. I've never heard him talk.
Like, no, he's his mind is next level, and he's so articulate, and he's so fast, and he's always like rapid fire, pow, 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 pow. I just find it odd that she said she couldn't understand him. Oh, Jimmy's gone. All right, give me a chance to watch some of this fight. One of his kids must have come and fucked with him. Nice takedown. I bet you his computer wasn't even plugged in. I bet you it ran out of batteries. That's my guess. Does anybody else have a guess? You can text in. Nope. Batteries are back up. I love this shit. That's the greatest fucking thing ever. Of course, Kid Rock would do this. Kid Rock's so fucking talented, man. I mean, people who, he's a guttural redneck and he's out of control, but that's why he's fantastic. But his talent level's off the hook. He did. I was like, who the hell did this? Oh, your mic's off. I can't hear you.
All right.
There you go. So this is Kid Rock doing Sugar Pie Honey Bun remake. Pretty damn good, actually. So yeah, what happened? Did you lose power?
I don't know what the fuck happened. My kids, whatever. This is terrible.
How many of these kids are running wild over there now? Did you pick up the ones from Pittsburgh?
Yeah, they're here. Marie's kids here. The two of the older ones are here.
It's funny, but I listen to these. I really shouldn't do it quite so much, but I listen to the Rogans and the Russell Brands and fucking Andrew Schultz podcast, and these guys are fucking pros. I mean, they're so good at what they do. We got to step up our game. We'll never be able to get Rogan guests or probably be as likable as Joe Rogan is. And certainly we can't be anybody else, but these guys are just so good at what they do. They're just
something. Can I tell you something?
Yeah, go for it.
And I've been I'm gonna sound gay, but I've been trying to figure a way to tell you this. You are so fucking unlikable, and that's the hook with you.
I know, right? Like, yeah.
Listen, and if you listen to the great ones, and I mean, you go no further than Howard Cosell. More people hated him by a long shot than loved him. You are fucking perfect because my brother-in-law, who listens to all this shit, fucking hates your guts. I'm gonna try. I want to try to get him to do like a troll section.
He's an outstanding judge of character, your brother-in-law.
Yeah,
Good for him.
He hates your guts. He argues with you out loud while he's listening to the episodes.
Perfect. Tell him to fact check me. Matter of fact, we should come up with a contest. We should come up with a contest on if somebody can fact check and get it right, that they get like if I say something that's utterly without merit, which is going to happen. I mean, without question, it's going to happen. I mean, we should actually just go in and say that we're just giving out complete misinformation and, start from that premise. But we should actually have, if I say something and somebody can fact check it, send it in through the website. And if they can prove it right, and I'm not talking about, it has to be a definitively proven thing. Yeah, then they get like a fucking hat or something. I'll send them a picture.
And our word is final. We're the judge and jury.
Yeah, we can debate it on the show. What does he think? What do you know of one thing that I said that pissed him off specifically, so I can continue to do it?
No, I think you just listen. He hates the tone of your voice and the way you deliver what you say so bad that I really don't even think that he listens to what you do say. And you just rub him the wrong way, and I get it.
I don't blame him one bit. Does he? No, he's your brother-in-law. He's married to your sister.
I don't know what the fuck he is. All right, let me tell you who he is. My uncle.
Okay.
Okay, my uncle, my dad's brother's wife. He's her brother.
Okay, yeah, I lose track after. My wife mocks me for this because when it comes to family stuff, she knows that. She'll be, "Oh, that's your second cousin twice removed," and I'm like, "How the fuck do you do that? It's like a superpower."
I don't know what he is, but
he's somebody that's family to you because he's around a lot. Yeah,
because I'm trying to figure out. He nicknamed you something else. Something so it didn't even make sense, and that's what he calls you. I think it's like Beatsy. I think he called you Beatsy, and he just hates your guts.
Beatsy's a good name for me. No, that's good. So this brings me up to another conversation because that's going to happen. And again, I'm perfect for that because I don't care. I don't give a fuck. Like, I guess that's part of my charm too. Is a lot of people care deeply what other people think about them. And I do care what people think about me, but
you should love it. You should fucking love it. On
the scale of really caring whether people like me or not, I'm like really low on that scale, which is probably gonna, so I do care, but not a lot, like way less than a normal person would. More than a psychopath and a sociopath, less than a human being. But that's awesome, man. That's a fucking great compliment. I'm glad that was one of the sweetest things you've ever said to me. Thank you for that.
I'm getting really pissed at this screen. It's just not it's got the little ponies on it, but I can't see you. I like to see you. Yeah, sexy motherfucker.
Yeah, that's the key. You got to be able to see me. Why can't you see me?
Let me see. All right. We got Frijol Loco.
The Frijol Loco. Frijol Loco. It might be like when you hit that one button there, Mike Sawyer popped up again. There he is again. That picture is fantastic.
That's where I want it. That's where I want it, right there.
I got to give Mike Sawyer credit. He takes some of the best cheesy photos.
I was trying to do that. I was trying to make that my background.
The Mike Sawyer, it should be. No, ponies are great too, but he has absolutely no pride. And no male ego at all. He will do. Every year I look forward to his Christmas card because I know it's going to be from the heart and so cheesy that I'm just going to love it so much. I put it up on the fridge. He's just one of a kind. Anybody who can lay there with that flower in and take that photo for real, mocking somebody else but doing it with that much heart. That guy has a gift. I don't know what you could do to monetize it.
I disagree. I disagree about the ego. I think it's all male-driven
ego.
I think it is. And what's so fucking cool about it, and I hate to give him a compliment, that his ego and his sense of self is so strong is he can legit make a dumbass out of himself and not give a fuck.
He doesn't give a fuck. Yeah, he doesn't give a fuck.
And that's cool.
So that's cool. Where does your brother-in-law listen to us? Does he get us on YouTube, or how does he listen? Spotify?
YouTube.
Okay, so he has to actually look at us too. That poor bastard. Yeah, I don't blame him. He's definitely his feelings are warranted. I'd like to say that for the record, and don't blame him a bit. So there's a good bloody fight that just happened. You're probably not watching right now. It's the free stuff is happening, but the winner of the fight literally looks like Rocky at the end of the first one when he gets the shit kicked.
Yeah.
So what do you think about the free crack pipes being handed out? How do you like that story? Government crack pipes.
I can't even do it. I don't have any thoughts because it's so. I'm serious.
It's fantastic. The whole thing.
You know what I feel like? I feel like how my dog should feel on like the 10th fucking throw. Okay, I'm gonna run as fast as I can to grab this ball. I'm gonna bring it back, and we're gonna start all over. I don't fucking care about crack pipes. I'm sure crazier shit has been done by Republicans, but it just adds to the Twilight Zone episode that we're on.
It's a Twilight Zone episode. It's just one. It does become a barrage, but you almost have to tap into your inner humor and just laugh at all this shit. Because again, we talked about this earlier. It's out of your control. So
that's what I'm saying. I mean, at least enjoy the show.
At least we can enjoy the show. This one was great for me. I mean, I enjoyed it because first of all, the president's son is a crackhead. So the fact that they would offer money for free crack pipes, and then it gets even better. So my father, he heard all the bantering. We were sending all the memes. The memes are just awesome on this crack.
Thank God your father's like that, because my father's so disgusted, and I'm telling him, I'm saying, you should be counting your lucky stars that you grew up when the fucking place was great. You landed right on time.
I had that talk with my father. I go, you literally had the perfect window. I mean, you got.
Would you want to be fucking 10 years old like my son?
No.
And fucking facing the shit that he's got to face and the decisions he's got to make.
Well, keep in mind when our parents were younger too, there was a huge influx of people building bomb shelters in their backyard because everybody thought there was going to be nuclear fallout. And here we are again. It's like the history repeats. Yeah. Or it doesn't repeat itself, but it certainly rhymes. So, maybe we'll see an influx in bomb shelters. I don't want to live in a bomb shelter. I'd rather just be wiped out right away. Who the hell wants to live through the carnage afterwards? The fallout and all that sort of stuff.
Something I'd want to try because I think that I could find a way to enjoy that.
I would enjoy it too. There'd be a certain I guess reversion back to your caveman roots,
or at least be entertained. Maybe not enjoy it, but be entertained by it.
Hunting would be great. Fishing might be fucked up. Your fish would have like 7 heads on it, and shit.
I'm the worst. I'm the worst ever, man. Fucking, I can't hunt or fish.
You can't? Really?
Yeah, I mean, man.
I don't know if I can hunt. I mean, I've shot a lot of guns, but I've really shied away from killing animals from the time I was a kid. And I killed a cardinal, I guess, in Virginia, and I was so afraid I was going to jail because those little fucking nuts they have up there, those little fruit nuts that are hard as shit that fall off the trees. You can't eat them. So I put it in a slingshot, and the fucking robin or cardinal, I don't know, robin is the Virginia bird, right? The red-crested bird.
Cardinal.
Cardinal's the state bird. So I shot at this thing. I couldn't hit anything because those things aren't perfect circles. So they always go to the right or the left. Damned if I didn't hit this thing from like 75, 80 feet away. Killed it. I was like, you got to be kidding me. You
can't kill a fucking state bird.
I killed the state bird. And then I panicked because I'm like, holy shit, I can go to, in the meantime, I'm like, fucking 8 years old. I'm like, I'm going to jail. So I go grab this fucking bird and like I'm in a mob movie, I'm burying this bird, so that there's no evidence where they can't find it. I traveled like a half mile from my house, dug that motherfucker like 8 feet deep, like literally like straight like a burying, and I felt terrible, but just terrible about it. And then I shot a squirrel with a BB gun a little bit later. I was probably 12 or something. And I fucking blasted the squirrel that was just sitting there peacefully. And when I watched it flop around, I felt awful about killing that squirrel, just awful. So I just never got that in me. But if I have to feed my family, that's a whole different. And then I killed a couple of my friends' cats. I killed 2 of my friends' cats, both on accident. But yes, I did accidentally kill.
I've killed one thing.
Yeah.
Chris Williams.
Good guy. I like Chris.
Oh, fucking great guy.
I love
Shout
Chris.
out to Chris, man.
Yeah, shout out to Chris.
Yeah. So Chris Williams took me hunting and we were using shotguns. I don't think I ever even shot a gun before. And so there somehow I shot this fucking squirrel and I just like completely blew its face off. I could still see like a little bit of his eye, but I just blew his fucking face off.
Oh yeah.
And Chris is not an exciting guy. He's just like, yep, happens like that sometimes.
Yeah.
And, you know what I mean? You know, how
like
Chris
out of a Clint Eastwood movie, just like
yeah, he's just because he knows his way around guns and hunting and all that other shit. And that just, God, I hated that, man. I saw that fucking squirrel
flat.
You know what I mean? And I just didn't like the feeling of that back then.
Yeah, I mean, I guess to go out in the woods, build a fire, go hunt an animal, shoot it, cook, that appeals to me. I mean, like a elk or a deer or a pig. I'd have actually a pig. I think is the best place to start because you're actually doing a good thing by whacking a couple pigs, and they taste like I think that's a good place for me to start. But to your point, I mean, you got to get at. We'd probably have to figure out how to do that. If we're going to hit nuclear winter, we better figure this shit out quick.
Yeah, I believe in that. My family doesn't believe in that.
Doesn't believe in what?
Like you would think.
Doesn't believe in what? Hunting or nuclear winter?
The majority of my family is not happy that one of the kids is okay. There's my nephew's father is an avid hunter, and okay, thanks, buddy. Is an avid hunter, and they don't think that Henry's old enough to start to learn hunting, and I disagree with them. And
how old's Henry?
He's 10. He'll be 11 in a couple months.
Plenty old. Yeah, they used to take these hunting at like 5 back in the day.
Yeah, I think it's, and I think that it's a very good thing to know. It's a necessity.
Yeah, it is. And you know what else is a necessity? Is having free crack pipes is a necessity. I mean, these are the things that make the world go around. So I was telling you, my father, he doesn't love Joe Biden, but he certainly doesn't, he hated Trump way more than, he would still prefer Biden over Trump, even that's how strong his hate for Trump is. So all of these crack memes are just great. So he sends a Washington Post fact check on this crack thing. And it's one of the greatest things I've ever read. It basically, the article starts out for the first, and I read, sometimes I wonder if my dad actually reads the articles. I don't think he does. He reads the headline. And it says this guy made assumptions about the crack thing. And, it disparages the paper that published it. It pretends it came from this like shady place, disparages the paper, disparages the author. And then later, in like buried into paragraph like 8, is actually the verbatim phone call this guy actually made to validate the information and the transcript of their validation of it. And here's my favorite part. So are you guys giving out crack pipes and, yada, 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 government speak. And they said, well, it's a pipe, but it's not restricted to just crack. Actually technically a lot of narcotics can be smoked out of it. And I'm like, yeah, heroin and stuff. And my father goes, listen, it's very important that people have, they don't want to be injecting. I go, Dad, you can't inject crack. Like, you have to smoke. You know what I mean? You have to smoke it. I go,
Dad, what are you thinking?
I'm like, you have to smoke. You can't inject it. You know what I mean? This isn't safe needles. But every place they've done this shit. I mean, you look at San Francisco, you look at Baltimore, and I challenged them to this. And again, I'm not a far right Republican guy, but you got to look at what works. I said, can you just explain to me one policy that Democrats are for in history that's actually worked? Dead silence. One policy. Name one. You have time. Name one that's worked. Like, go into a city and say, hey, Democrats are for this. Has it worked? Silence. I go, I can give you one. The killing of babies through Planned Parenthood. It's worked like a fucking charm. Like that, the killing of black babies. That's what they wanted to do. That's why it was put in place. It's all there in history. She spoke at Margaret Sanger spoke at Klan rallies. That's the actual reason that they're in place. And they're in every inner city. And I think 30 million, something like that, black babies have been wiped off the face of the earth since then. So is
that when it started? When did it start? Because don't stand there and tell me that at one point in this country, Democrats and Republicans were not so far apart. There was Democrats.
No, they've been far apart from the beginning. And keep in mind the Civil War. But
I'm talking about there was middle of the road Republicans, middle of the road Democrats. Not all Democrats were fucking batshit crazy.
Yeah, it's changed pretty dramatically. I mean, we still have the guy out of West Virginia is not batshit crazy. He's voted against a couple things that saved this country's ass. On the voting rights bill, the Build Back Better agenda, which really was just a wealth transfer of just feel good social programs where you spend a ton of money. I mean, here's an example of one of the things they pushed through. So Pete Buttigieg is doing this highway thing. He says that roads are racist. So the roads are racist. Okay. So everything's racist, right? And if everything's racist, isn't nothing racist? You know what I mean? At some point, if you just, the truckers are racist in Canada, Trump's racist, the roads are racist. Anybody who supports Joe Rogan's racist, Joe Rogan's race, everybody's right, everything's racist. At some point, it's gone. It doesn't
fucking matter. It's taken all the shine away from the word racism. Racism doesn't matter anymore because they made it a punchline.
It's almost boring. Like there's no real, even if there's real racism now, which there is, you've now cheapened it. You can't even fucking bring it up. All the Jussie Smolletts and fucking Bubba, whatever the fucking NASCAR guy that's no longer racing with his fake news story. It's just cheapened the real shit that's out there that needs to be addressed. But either way, we're now dealing with racist roads. And do you want to know what a solution for racist roads are? It's to put up those digital automatic ticket things that give you tickets. So the solution to racist roads is to automatically ticket everybody because those machines are inherently colorblind. What the fuck? Literally, you can't even drive on a highway without getting a ticket for like going 4 miles an hour.
Wait, what the fuck are you talking about?
So Pete Buttigieg's rolling out a national program of automatically taking. You've been to Maryland.
That's real. That's not.
Yeah,
I thought you were making a joke. I thought you were making a joke.
No. I wish I should be making a joke. It's pretty fucking funny. But because Pete Buttigieg is fucking everybody in the ass. There's a joke there. I mean, and yeah, that's happening. You could fact check that and put it in and say, is this happening? It's fucking happening. So you yelling at me in the car, go fuck yourself. It's happening, motherfucker. When you get your first ticket, you think about me. All right. Pretend I did it, not Pete. But yeah, Pete, yeah, it's a real thing. These are the solutions. It's almost comical. Like, how do you actually come up with ideas that bad? People are struggling. The world shit. Let's jack up the cost. Come on. Let's just ticket everybody. at some point you have to go.
Listen,
This is not on accident. They're lubing us up for whatever they can get out of us.
I would appreciate it more. I would respect it more if these motherfuckers would come on the TV and say, guys, things are fucked up. I don't know what to tell you. Let's just keep working at it. It's there. How can they try to pass this shit to us? How can we accept it?
I mean, it's got to be really weird to get into office. And Joe Biden's been around long enough where it wasn't weird. But if you're a Kennedy or if you're a Trump and you get into office and all of a sudden you're like, okay, sir, here's the deal. We have the Cuban Missile Crisis. We've got the Russians bringing in nukes into Cuba. We've got this issue over in Africa, which is a major thing that could break out into, mass carnage and, pure genocide. We've got this situation over in Europe that we have to deal with. We have the Chinese that we have to deal with. And you're sitting there going, wait, what the fuck? So basically we're on the precipice of complete destruction right now with the Russians, and we've got genocide over in Africa with okay. All right, let me try to absorb it. And in Trump's case, again, he was, semi-outsider. He had his intelligence people that weren't even telling him the truth. So these people have to get him. So he's not even getting real information. And sometimes towards the end, it came out that even his military people, he's like, let's withdraw. They're like, all right, we'll just tell them we're going to withdraw. We're just going to pretend we're going to withdraw. And we're going to keep running shit out of Syria. So we were still doing stuff in Syria behind his back. After Trump, said he wanted to withdraw from Syria.
When does this all come out? When does all this? Because this certainly doesn't seem above board.
Above board? It's a disaster. Everything's a fucking disaster.
When does all the president's men happen for Trump?
Never, because listen, the president doesn't matter. And you can go back and do you have Showtime at your house?
Yeah.
Watch the Oliver Stone JFK Revisited special that's on there.
Yeah.
So all this JFK declassification happened and all this new information came out. And Stone, the beautiful thing about his special is he just documents meticulously every single thing that they found and what it means, and then explains what it means.
Yeah.
None of those people that were involved. So long story short, you and I both know who did it, right? The who done it is pretty obvious, but it's now laid out. So for example, I'll give you a little teaser here. Jack Ruby was a CIA asset that killed Lee Harvey Oswald. Lee Harvey Oswald was an FBI and CIA asset. They were tracking him both to a week before the assassination, and then they immediately, in unison, he was a patsy. They cut him, but they put a specific red stop on his file so he could actually be there for the parade that day. But he was working for a CIA front and he was billed as a communist. He was working for the CIA when he was handing out all the Cuban stuff. So he was working for a pro-communist Cuban group that was in a building that the CIA had set up that also had an anti-Cuban, anti-communist group out of the same address. So he's a CIA asset. So when you see him get arrested and he's getting pulled away and he's like, I'm a patsy. I didn't do it. I'm a patsy. He was being honest. Like he was a patsy. Now Ruby, who shot him, after he shot him, one of the heads of the CIA that ran their acid LSD program went in and saw him in prison because Ruby was still alive. So he went in and saw Ruby. Ruby was a coherent human being when this guy walked in, who ran the same program that also did the Operation Midnight Climax, where they LSD'd Johns that were going into bang hookers just to watch what would happen. And they were also handing out LSD to Charles Manson. So Manson was a CIA asset, not an employee, an asset. He was part of their study, and so was Whitey Ford, Whitey Bulger, the mob guy. So he was part of the same program. So the same guy running MK Ultra with all the LSD stuff goes in and sees Jack Ruby in prison, Walks in, he's a normal person. Walks out. Ruby couldn't put a sentence together. He was huddled up on the floor, incoherent, talking about Jews being burned alive. He was brain fried, gone. So he gave him a, almost like a mentally lethal dose, which basically fried his brain. So the whole thing is a whole thing. But you watch that and you realize, okay, that was back in 62, 63.
Yeah.
None of those people were punished. They're now career bureaucrats many years later. People are like, oh, we're all altruistic. Our people our government's great. No, nobody was punished. The plots are bigger. They're badder. They have more resources. They have more fucking, control. So it's worse. So where does that all the president's men moment happen? Nothing. We're fucked. That's the reality. Is that we just have to hope that some good guys are on the inside working to keep this horrible evil from continuing, because it's really bad. There's no reason this world shouldn't be able to be at peace. There's just too much money in war. The military industrial complex is a real thing. It's a real fucking
I just don't know how you sound so convincing when none of this stuff is true.
No, I know. Actually, everything that I said, again, fact check it. These are the beautiful part about it is that, again, this is a misinformation show. The whole show is bullshit, but everything's bullshit. But these are released documents. So, and other people's work. I'm basically piggybacking on the research other people have done. I'm not going to go read. I've read a ton of CIA, FBI documents. I've read some really wild shit on their actual site, but I'm not going to spend my time doing that. I got to worry about which type of porn. I got to worry about which type of porn genre I got to have for the rest of my life. I'm going to invite at my table with Hitler. And
more importantly, you got to worry about explaining what genre means to your co-host.
Yeah, what you didn't know the genre? Oh, that was the confusion. I didn't know what the fuck was. I was like, is he not hearing me? The genre, yeah.
I didn't understand what genre meant. I was thinking genre meant the year of what women were in that year.
Do you watch, how much porn do you watch? Realistically, do you watch like porn like once a week or something? I don't know. Do they still have porn music? Do they still play that bow chicka bow wow shit?
No, I usually wait for that to die down. When that goes away, then no, it's not bow to bow bow, whatever, but it's it's like elevator music.
Oh, they play music during the porns?
Yeah, definitely. It's in the beginning.
Huh. That's fucking. I like the real porn music,
but I don't like that part. So I usually wait for the music to die down.
Are you watching 70s shit? Like, are you watching the news? Because you're so old. Are you back there with
just internet? I can't. How am I gonna watch 70s shit?
You're pretty old school. I could see you.
Do I have a Betamax?
I'm sure YouTube or YouPorn has
I do.
Ron Jeremy. Yeah, that old Ron Jeremy shit. Furry bushes and stuff.
I'm still into Tracy Lords, man.
She was really pretty. Yeah, she was like attractive. I completely forgot about her. Didn't she have a legitimate acting career after porn?
Yeah, she hooked up with John Waters, I think, and she did Cry Baby with Johnny Depp, and I think a few other ones.
Didn't she? What was she underage when she did her adult work?
I don't know.
I think she started
underage. There was a rumor. I think that was a rumor. I don't know.
I think, and again, I think this is from her. That stuff's not online. So if you've jerked off to her, don't feel bad. She was of age when you jerked off to her. I think they removed all the bad stuff, but I think she actually.
No. I had what was it? Tracy in Heaven. She starred in that. Now these are VHSs.
Yeah.
So Tracy in Heaven. Oh, what the was Tracy in Tokyo? I think Tracy in Tokyo. And there might have been another one, but these were. This wasn't like you could just dial up whatever you want.
I have a great porn story for you. So this is somebody that you and I both know well, and maybe hypothetically somebody who's been on this podcast. Okay, said that they had never jerked off, and there was a VHS called Nurse Nancy, and a buddy of mine left Nurse Nancy on and pretended to go to class, and he had a first floor. He was on a first floor dorm, and went outside, waited a few seconds, and left this gentleman in front alone. And he went and locked the door, and then went and knocked on the window and laughed as he was jerking. I was jerking off, and it's the same guy who claimed he had never jerked off. And
so he just claimed it so he could get that meeting with her.
he said, I don't know. This is back when, you remember, there's a moment in time where jerking off was shameful. You didn't want to admit that you jerked off. It was like I don't jerk.
Yeah.
So for me, it
was right up until last Tuesday.
Yeah. Well, for him, this was that moment where he's like, I don't do that, and he got busted hardcore jerking off a few seconds after saying he didn't jerk off by the guy. And this is somebody you and I both know very well, that we may be on a text chain with.
I think that
Yeah.
I got caught jerking off by my mother really early on.
I'm not
sure what she saw, but I think that might have happened.
I did not get caught jerking off by my mom, but I got caught with doing something worse. So do you remember Faces of Death?
You better not have been jerking off to that.
I was not, but Faces of Death was a big deal. It was just basically videos of watching people die. And of course, it's fucking fascinating, riveting shit. You watch a parachuter go into an alligator pit.
Yeah, I remember it.
So the video in general, it's kind of a death documentary. Certainly there's some weird shit, and probably I shouldn't have been watching it at the age of 11. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I'm like, holy shit, I'm watching, real shit, people getting shootouts and stuff. So she happens to come down during like a cult orgy of cutting bodies up and having an orgy during blood. The worst scene in the fucking entire series is literally an orgy in a dead body that they've cut up, and they're literally licking and eating. And I'm like, she wanted to put me in therapy. She's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? I was like, I swear it's a documentary. You can watch Alligator.
You know the reason.
Yeah.
First of all, we all know the reason everybody was attracted to Faces of Death at first was because they wanted to see the electrocution. Right?
I mean, that was the big
big attraction. Then you end up seeing some really fucked up shit that you probably didn't and shouldn't have seen, didn't want to and shouldn't have seen back then,
You know what scarred me worse than Faces of Death? And I'm not even joking. So it was my 10th birthday, and a friend of mine had a father who had a big porn collection, and he brought over some of the VHS tapes. And during my 10th birthday, all the kids are there. We put in this tape, and it was fucking, the first time I'd ever seen a porn. And I'm watching, these are big, hairy, this is 1984, right?
Yeah.
So, and this tape's probably from like 1979, 1978, whatever it is, like circle jerks and fucking, eating and I remember watching this girl take a penis down. You could actually see it down her throat. And I just started gagging, it's all, I was like, this is not like attractive or sexy at all. That's probably why I kind of, don't watch porn really. I'm not.
That's why you're gay.
No, definitely not the reason. I'm gay for other reasons, but not for that reason, but I wish I were gay. My God, they have it so easy.
You know what could have been my first naked woman?
What?
I don't think that I ever saw a naked, because I didn't know what I was looking at. We had gone to a Baltimore Orioles game, me and my father, and back then
at Camden.
No.
Oh, wait, this is before Memorial. Yeah.
And so back then,
early 80s.
Yeah. So back then, there was a little bit of an after scene, not big, but they would go up, and I forget what road it was on, but they would have like Pollock Johnnies and different places, and you just hang in strip clubs and shit, you know? And so I remember it was a day, it was light out. So it was probably like 6 or 7 at night. And my dad goes, we walk past this place, and he says, "Hey, look, I want you to go in there." And, you know, he probably said, "Ask him where 5th Street is or whatever." He says, "Hey, look, I want you to go in there." And so I ran in there, and it was a strip club. And there's this big, I mean, she looked giant to me. And she was right dead in front of me on the stage dancing. And she looked at me and she said, "Get out of here." And it scared the shit out of me. And I ran out, and my dad was standing behind, you know what I mean? And it's like, that scared the fuck out of me. He's like, "Oh, what's the matter?" You know? And I don't know. I don't even know why he did that. It didn't even, like, I never even thought about it after that. You know what I mean? And I like having the story. You know what I mean? I like having the story. So I'm glad he did. But I wonder why.
Do you like strip clubs?
No.
Not yeah. Did you ever like strip clubs?
No.
Okay. So I hated strip clubs. The first time I walked into one, I was confused. You know, I was like, hey, you know, it was like a typical, "Hey, why do you do this? You know, how did this happen? You know, who hurt you?" Same things that I would say to Hitler if I were at dinner with him. Like, what happened with you? Only Hitler, you know, Hitler would have been better off in a thong with me putting dollars in his thong. I'd be much happier doing that than what happened. But so you know, that was the first experience. Then I got a divorce. Okay. And after the divorce, you know, you're coming out, you've been out of the game. You don't know how to hunt anymore. You have no hunting ability. And I went to Crystal City restaurant with Mike Zito, and none of my other friends wanted to go. And we just sat there all day. I probably spent, if I were at a club, I probably would have spent legitimately about $1,000. I think I spent like $275, and I had, and at the end of the day, I was friends with every single stripper in the place, and a lot of them were hot. Like, a lot of them were hot, and I was like, "This is the greatest thing in the world." They come up to you, they talk to you, and then you talk to them. You don't need to go up and have an awkward moment and be like, "Hi, you know, my name," you know. They're coming over and going, "Hey, how you doing?" And my name, you know, it's so much. Everything about it is just perfect. They have sports on there. You know, the girls aren't fully naked. And I said, "My God, these places are great. Do people know about these places? Like, this is awesome."
Well, I thought you didn't like it.
I went on a run. From the time I was 28. I went on a run after the divorce. From the time I was about 28 to the time I was about 34. I had probably a 6-year run where I thought I tried to buy a strip club up off PG County off Route 1, the Showcase Theater.
I remember that.
No place like showcase.com. It's it's the sleaziest. So I spent a week up doing due diligence. It was run by a Russian gangster who lived next to Cal Ripken Jr. named George. Love that guy. I actually really enjoyed him. He got shot in the neck after I did the due diligence. He survived. I reached out to him. He was like so happy to hear from me, but I accidentally reached out to him. I was trying to reach out to another George. He goes, "Are you still interested in buying the club?" I'm like, "Fuck no, I'm in Florida now." But this club was a full nude lap dance club. So they made money on cigarettes and fucking selling Red Bulls and all sorts of stuff. It was a lap dance club. And all the Mexican and all the day workers, like the people that did construction, would come in, blow their whole fucking checks on a Friday, Saturday night. And that was it. Like that was their fun. But you could bring your own liquor. If I had actually bought that, because it was making about $100,000 a month. If I'd bought that, I'd probably be dead. I mean, it was the boyfriends of the strippers were running them out to hotels. They were actually, the boyfriends were the Johns for the strippers. I realized that on the first night I was there, they're hiding everything from me. I realized right away that they had a system to get the girls out with the guys because I'm not stupid, could see it.
Yeah.
But these guys were pros. So long story short, I actually went through a bit of a full blown I'm into this, and then I got really sad. I had a ton of stripper friends. Actually, at one point, I had so many stripper friends, it was ridiculous. And then I just was like, all of a sudden, holy shit, this is immoral, this is fucked up, and I'm sad. And it happened, a deceleration of about 6 months where I no longer wanted to be at strip clubs at all. And I went to a strip club for my bachelor party, I guess 7 years ago. I haven't been to a strip club since, and the only reason I went is because guys expected to go to the strip club. That's what you do. But yeah, the whole thing now. But I know a ton about strippers. I mean, I know a lot about strip clubs, strippers. I know more about that than I ever thought I would. But it's a sad thing. I mean, these girls, they get addicted to that money, and there's a lot of smart girls in there. There's a lot of like people that actually have real talent. And when you're making $100,000-$200,000 a year, whatever you're making, you can get addicted to. At first, you're making, let's say you're making 80 grand a year with your bottoms on, then you're making 120 with your bottoms off, and then you're making 200, 250 by banging a dude. It's a very easy, it's very easy to sort of take that extra step. Because every girl goes in and goes, I would never dance. I would never strip. And then as soon as you make that thing, and then, the strip is
one step at a time.
One step at a time. You move through. And then next thing you start to get a little, the way it happens too is when you're young and you're pretty, you kind of have all the cards. You can make the money without taking those extra steps. But at some point, you're no longer the new girl. There's a newer girl there. Then you start to become kind of the veteran. You might still be hot, but you're peak. You're at your peak, and then you start to go down on the peak, and then
you still gotta eat though, baby. You still gotta eat.
You got your regulars, but your regulars, but they've seen you. They're intrigued by the new 18-year-old one that just came in. Your regular may want to go hang out with that one. It's a fucking weird world, and the moral debauchery of it. It's a little much to take, man. I mean,
I never got into that lifestyle.
It's a fun lifestyle for a while. I don't regret it. It was fucking a blast, but I wouldn't do it.
My brother was into that pretty heavy, and he took me to my first strip club, and it was a Christmas party, and coincidentally, it was also my first real full-on bar brawl.
You've only been in one?
Yeah, I mean, I avoid that shit at all costs.
All right, tell me about your bar brawl. I gotta hear it.
So we go into this strip club, and they had their bottoms on and shit. I mean, this was in Arlington. So
was it Crystal City? Was it the one on Wilson Boulevard? It was Crystal City? Oh yeah.
So
no. It was the one on Wilson. It was the one on Wilson that closed down. Yeah. Yes, I'm with you.
Yes. So we go in there it's a Christmas party, and I was underage, and my brother comes in, and he's talking to all the strippers and stuff, and he's like, good, that's my brother, and so they'll come over and just talk to me, and I mean, nobody even, there was nothing even suggested, but they were nice, and so this guy comes in. And he's standing there, and my brother was, a little mental. He's crazy as fuck is what he was. So
because you're getting ready to get in a hypothetical fight, I thought this would help you get in the mood.
Yeah. Oh yeah, let's do it. So he starts getting on his fucking dander all up, because the guy that walked in couple days before had gotten in a fight with one of Johnny's very good friends, who that night ran into a telephone pole and died.
Oh shit! So he blamed him for his friend's death in a way.
don't think he blamed him, but the guy talked shit or something after he found out he died.
Dead. Yeah. Yeah.
So
and
that may have just been a rumor. I don't know if that's true or not.
But either way,
but-
the emotions are high, and
Yeah.
and this is a way to outlet your pain. So your brother looked at this as an emotional outlet, physically, and a way to
and he just said,
pay honor to his friend by kicking the shit out of somebody.
yeah.
I respect that.
And so he said, hey, heads up. And I don't even know what the fuck heads up means, but he took about a running, like
how old were you? Were you a professional fighter at this point?
No.
Okay, so you were what, 18?
18.
Okay.
Yeah, 18.
But you were training every fucking day.
I was training every day, but that had nothing to do with this fucking bar fight.
But you weren't even drinking at that point. You weren't a drinker.
Oh no.
Oh yeah, no way. Yeah.
This
so your brother just goes heads up and just runs towards the dude to kick the shit out of him.
And the guy, I mean, he takes a running like a skip, like if you want to throw something real far, you know, and somehow he did like a fucking flying backhand in this guy's fucking face and busted his front teeth all out and broke his nose and he hits this guy. The guy goes down and the place goes crazy. Fucking jumping on my brother, people fighting people.
So this guy had his crew there with him. Your brother just didn't give a fuck.
Yeah, and well, no, my brother knew people there too. So everybody's fighting everybody. And I'm fucking standing over in the corner. I'm fucking shitting my pants. This is so foreign to me.
Yeah.
And it's every weekend for him. So I'm like, I remember I had these fucking big motorcycle steel toe boots on, and there was like a blob of people fighting and shit. And I see my brother kind of crawl out. So I'm like, great, there's the door. Let's get the fuck out of here. And some guy with a ponytail, like a Mexican guy with a ponytail, jumps on his back and he's fighting him. But what he's really doing is he's trying to take my brother's wallet.
He's he's trying to rob him. Yeah.
Okay. And I see that. And so I say, okay, fucking step up. So I'm like, I'm eyeing him up for a field goal because he's perfect.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to kick him right in the face. And so I start to fucking, all right, I'm going to do this. And just then this fucking guy, Manny, kicks this motherfucker just like I was going to kick him.
Yeah.
And my brother breaks free. I pick up his wallet. Manny kind of blocks shit and we run out and speed away. And I'll never forget, he's like,
oh, the guy that had been kicked? Yeah, getting kicked in the head. Yeah.
No, my brother. We were escaped.
Oh, your brother was fucked up.
And we're driving away, and he's and I said, dude, are you fucking crying? He's like, no, motherfucker, I can't breathe. I gotta stop smoking.
Oh, he had asthma, like
something like that. And I thought he was fucking crying. He's like, I'm not a fucking pussy.
Yeah, you know, those real fights like that are so chaotic. I mean, I've been in so many, and I started so few. You know, all friends that would like to fight. You know, love to fight.
It's terrible. It's terrible.
It's just a dumb thing to do. People can get really fucked up from that.
And then
I mean,
you get guys that start to get braver because they got a fighter in their group.
Happens all the time.
I used to tell guys. You know, I'm talking about when we were kids, 18, 19. I was like, I am not a tough street fighter. Do not get me in a fucking street fight because I will do everything I can do to avoid it.
Yeah, I there was a period of time where every night, like every night of my life for about a year, legitimately we'd get at least one or two fights.
I couldn't even live like that.
So, I mean, I always say I've been in 100, but really the number is probably about 400 or 500. street fight or like street fights. It's a lot. It's a lot. And a lot of them weren't fights I threw. I probably threw punches in 100 of those, but 400 to 500 actual fights. It got to the point where I was like, look, this isn't fun anymore, guys. You know, we're young men. Shouldn't you be trying to get laid or something? Like, what the fuck? Like, why are you going out and trying to fight every single night? It's not fun at all. Like for me.
I couldn't do that.
Yeah, I had to sort of disconnect because there was actually there was a guy that we both went to high school with who was a big lightning rod for these things. He used to fight every night. He transferred to University of Florida and then ended up fucking my ex-wife and
CD, right?
No, BO.
BO or
BO.
Okay. I don't know.
I'll text it to you. You'll know exactly so that you can follow along. So there was one night we're on the street and he bumped into these two very large women. One was black and one was white, and a guy. And you know, of course, the women talk shit. So you know, he was ready to fight at any given moment. So he jumped in the faces, and I'm like, really? We got to go through this. So the guy reached for a gun, like he reached into the back, as if he had a gun. And I didn't know if he had a gun or not. But if you're going to reach back there, I have to assume that you have one. So I hit him, and everything, you know, went a little bit awry from there. But these big women attacked. You know, the big women attacked too. And I remember, you know,
if you have to hit a woman, you better hit her as hard as you fucking can.
I did not hit a woman that night, but he did, and he hit her really hard. Now the reason that became weird is about a week later, we're at a Burger King, and the same guy comes in, but he's got his crew with him. He's got like 12 dudes, and it's just me and him. And they're like, there's that motherfucker. And I see him coming. I turn to the Burger King guy. I go, call the police. Like, call the police. Call the police. Like, call them. I go, like, just call the police. Like, this is gonna be a brawl. It's gonna be ugly. And the guy just froze. I go, don't freeze. Call the police. You're getting ready to have a major episode. And they said, you guys, when you guys walk out of here, we're gonna shoot you, is what they said. And they meant it. It wasn't a joke. And we waited a bit. You know, we waited a good 45 minutes at that Burger King. I wasn't anxious to go out there and be some fucking hero. You know, I'm not, because my friend blasted a girl in the face and I knocked this fucking guy out that was trying to pretend he had a gun. That's not a heroic moment. And so we ended up waiting him out and finally getting kind of an escort out to the escape. And luckily, never saw him again. Luckily, but that moment, I mean, that moment could have been very bad because there was a whole crew of people. None of them looked friendly. Like none of them looked like they were.
You get so much luck in your life to even fucking still be on the planet. A lot of people have that.
So did you get the text?
Yeah.
That's who it was. Yeah. So you know, at the end of the day, the fact that we're still here is pretty miraculous, right? And even if we get wiped out by nuclear war soon, it was fun while it lasted, Jimmy. It really was. So we have Israel Adesanya fights tonight, and I know you're not a UFC guy. Right now, Lawrence and Martinez are fighting on the I think the free.
All right, Pat, let me take a little break. Is Patrick coming on?
I sent him the link. I don't know if he's coming on or not. But I want to talk some fighting. Now that we're through all the political stuff, we can bring Patrick on and ruin his career. In the rain, rock me, mama, like a bone train. Hey, mama, rock me.
Walking due south out of Roanoke, I caught a trucker out of Philly, had a nice long tow. But he's headed west from the Cumberland Gap, Johnson City,
Tennessee.
Hey, buddy.
Jimmy, who's your favorite? Who are your favorite? We'll call it comedians that use a hell of a lot of body in their thing. I like Chris Farley, for example. You know how
Right.
over the
Right.
top he was. But who are your favorite like animated people on stage, comedians that just were like holy. And the reason I ask, I watched Jim Brewer last night.
Yeah.
I mean, that guy does shit on stage. You just can't even fucking believe he is so over the top with how expressive he is. Everything he does is just live wire energy. His impersonations, what he does Metallica and he does AC/DC. He does AC/DC to their face. They're in the audience. Have you seen that? Have you seen that clip?
I saw him. No, he didn't do that. I saw him live at the racetrack.
Oh, you saw him live?
Yeah. Oh, he's a killer.
Dude, he's a fucking killer. I mean, I don't think there's anybody other than Chris Farley that I mean, again, Belushi was very, very physical. Eddie Murphy was pretty physical, but
I think one of the very, very best who I just like, there's something that rubs me wrong about him, but he's so fucking talented, and that's Robin Williams.
Oh, great call. Yeah, Robin Williams was so physical too. Very physical. Great call. Great call. Robin Williams was a master of the crowd too. Yeah, in one of his specials.
Like, have you ever watched somebody that you don't, and sports is different because you get your allegiance to a team, but have you ever watched a performer who you just don't like, but you appreciate? God damn, they're so fucking good.
I'm with you. I was never a huge Robin Williams fan. That said, some of his comedy specials, and I've watched a lot of comedy specials with a lot of shitty people, are off the fucking chain good.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
he's going out in the fucking audience and interacting with everybody in the audience, like literally walking around the audience and talking to people, putting on their clothes, drinking their drinks. I mean, the way the guy used the entire arena is just, and again, some of the wittiness, sometimes he was just a little bit too much for me, a little bit too much. But he was a genius. I mean,
listen, this guy, all the top 10 greats of all time, this guy's in the conversation for so many things, from stand up to
Good Will Hunting. It's amazing in Good Will Hunting.
Good, yeah. I mean, that to be a dramatic and comedian, I think he won the Academy Award for that, if that means anything. He was a fucking beast in that movie. It's just, this guy was fucking talent out the ass.
You almost wondered, and I watched John Riggins' story today, and he actually had a really good take on this. He goes, when you have, and you can attest to this, when you have 50 or 60, 70,000 people screaming your name, Riggins came out on the field with Joe Theismann. He wore his uniform, and he was talking to Joe. He goes, I told Joe, I just wanted to hear it one more time. The fucking adrenaline of the crowd roaring your name. It's gotta be just so fucking addictive, and that's why people don't want to let it go. Is after that's gone, everything else is a little bit, is the adrenaline isn't there. It's like a rush of whatever you want to call it.
There's no buzz.
I don't want to use a drug, but it seems like it's like a heroin fucking right to the needle. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to. I'm not. It seems like
I mean, there's degrees of it. Everything's different. Some guys walk away and they never miss it. Some guys, don't even realize they miss it. It's a strange phenomenon that you don't really know unless you go through it.
I mean, I remember, I still remember Mark and Mindy was so big, but you could see my screen. I'm leaving it up here, but there was a movie that he did that was a great fucking movie about all the kids that he's teaching how to do.
Patch Adams.
No, not
No.
Pat Adams. No, where he's a professor, like helping the kids figure out how to fucking do things. And Mrs. Doubtfire was amazing. I mean, he was incredible.
Amazing. Yep.
I can still rewatch that. That was at one point in time, that was one of my favorite movies of all time, and I could still watch.
What's a better movie? This is a great question. What's a better movie, Tootsie or Mrs. Doubtfire?
Again, great, but oh my God! I mean, Dustin Hoffman did it first, but Mrs. Doubtfire was more funny. Like
I think so.
More over the top. But how about his role as the genie in Aladdin? I mean, who the fuck else can do that? Will,
dude.
And by the way, Will Smith is one of the most talented people on this planet. Like, he can do anything he wants to do, he can do. But Will Smith is just a B to B plus at everything he does. Robin Williams was an A plus as genie. But I got to give Will Smith some credit here. He jumped in and redid. Did you see the Aladdin where Will Smith was the live animation?
No.
Okay.
I've only seen the Aladdin, the old movie. Same way I used to watch porn, I would watch Aladdin on a VHS.
Oh, dude, watch Will Smith. So Will Smith takes the role of Aladdin, the fucking not Aladdin, of the genie in the new Aladdin live. First of all, and this is, I think, right around the time Robin Williams died, may have been after, the confidence to take that role from somebody who literally hit a grand slam home run. You have to say Will Smith, that move right there had balls galore because he believed in himself. When I first heard he was going to do it, I'm like, dude, why would you do that? Like, you're setting yourself up for failure. You're going to fucking fail. You're following the best ever at what he did in that cartoon. And Will Smith did not embarrass himself. He did a great job in that movie. It's actually really good. The live action Aladdin is a really, really good movie.
I love that. I love that subject. So you're saying that was a reputable performance by Smith. What are some other reputable performances, or you can't replay The Godfather. You can't Marlon Brando, and there's other guys like that. But give me some guys that did try to recreate impossible roles and did well.
I'm much better off the cuff on this on music than I am on movies, because keep in mind, I don't know jack shit about celebrities. Like, my celebrity knowledge is like a 4 out of 100. Like, I know I know if you move music people in there, it's a lot higher, but talking about real movie people, I'm just not. My wife's always absolutely fascinated about the people that I don't know who they are. I'm like, I've heard the name, can you show me who they are? What have they done? She names the movies. I'm like, yeah, I haven't seen any of those. I mean, like, most of the people that are a big deal could literally be in a room. If there were 10 of the biggest stars in the world right now in a room right now, I'd probably recognize one of them. I'm just not good at that. I don't follow it. I'm following, World War III and fucking crack pipes,
Well, like I said, the initial response when an actor has the audacity to play a legendary role and try to recreate it, the original reaction, or the reaction is usually, oh my God, they fluff him off, you know what I mean? But you bring up a really good point, because the balls that it takes to that is an unbelievable challenge that you're already almost starting with defeat.
Oh, you are. I mean, what Will Smith did to take that role, I don't care the money. He already has money. When you're an actor at his level and a performer at his level, you get shit thrown at you all the time. Maybe he wanted to work with Miramax or Pixar or Disney or whoever the fuck did it. But the fact that he took that role and crushed it, he did a great job. Like, actually, that movie is, if I have to watch the original or that, it's a coin flip for me. I mean, it really is that good. It's and to your question before of who's taken a role in a repeat movie. In movies, you don't see a ton of those remakes, and most of the remakes are really bad.
Yeah.
So it's almost like, hey, everybody who's taken that probably did it for the money. In Will Smith's case, I don't think he did. I think he did it for the challenge. And I've never seen him on an interview for this, but if we had him on, I'd say, yeah, I guarantee you that you thought that you could crush it, because otherwise, why wouldn't you? Why would you ever even consider that? Because at that stage,
That's a hell of a challenge.
He was a huge star. He was a huge star.
Yeah.
Coming after Robin Williams. Either that or he felt the way you did about Robin Williams. He's like, this motherfucker isn't that good. I mean, not that you think.
Bullshit. I didn't
Not
say
that you
that.
think that way. Not that you. I don't mean to put words in your mouth, but I'm with you. Like maybe there was like a part of him thinking, maybe
He
he's
was
not
never he was never my favorite. I would always choose somebody else before I chose him. But goddamn, he's just so fucking good.
Yeah, I mean, fantastic.
Roger Miller.
Who's Roger Miller?
The song.
Who's that? Oh yeah. Oh, King of the Road. King of the Road. Hold on a sec. I got to put this on for you, because if you haven't seen this is. Oh no, he does it in front of Metallica. That's why I can't fucking find it.
That's what he did, the Metallica bit. Obviously, Metallica wasn't there, but I have seen
No,
that
they
bit.
were there.
I know. I have seen that. Yeah, I didn't see the AC/DC.
Oh, you haven't seen him do AC/DC?
No, I haven't seen him do AC/DC to AC/DC.
Oh, he hasn't done it to AC/DC, but he does it to. Have you seen him?
He does. He does all those bands in his live show.
Okay, I'm gonna skip that, but let me find this. I'm still trying to find that Robin Williams movies, and you'll know it immediately. I'm almost here. West Virginia.
Wait, describe it again.
He's a professor and has a bunch of kids that are like an all males thing, and he teaches them how to do poetry and shit. Sounds really queer when you.
Yeah, Dead Poet Society.
Dead fucking Poet Society. Great fucking movie, and again, it's like describing. Really? Great fucking movie. It's like describing Shawshank's. If you go, oh, Shawshank, guy goes to fucking prison, and yeah, I don't want to watch that. Dead Poet Society sounds like shit, and it's a fucking phenomenal movie. I mean, it's just beautiful movie. It's actually like it's a piece of art. Like it's actually like a layout of the soul manifested in a film that's really interesting to watch. It's not you're not gonna find yourself wanting to finger bang a dude during it, but it does get you in touch with emotions, and emotions are a good thing. It's okay to be open.
Wait, there was no finger banging dudes in it, was it?
I think there may have been, but no, not that I've seen. But probably on the probably in between cuts. I mean,
probably on the director's cut.
I mean, director's cut, probably a little bit of that, but nobody's judging.
Where the fuck is Patrick? I got World War III upstairs, and he's got to fucking talk some boxing with you.
Oh man, well there's I mean, while Patrick's gone, let's get we've talked about strippers, strip clubs. Actually, if you come down, I might break my strip club thing and take you and show you the skills that I have.
I have no interest in going in a strip club.
No, neither do I, but going with you would be funny for me. Like it would be just entertaining for me. What do you think about what do you think about The Rock? Are you a Rock fan? You're a fan of The Rock?
Yes, from a distance. I don't know much about him.
So I
think he's funny as shit.
He's funny? The Rock's funny?
Yeah, I think so. I think he's hilarious.
So I hate The Rock. I think I'm a big anti-Rock person. I'm going to take the biggest anti-Rock stance. I'm going to take a hard stance on The Rock.
Yeah.
I think
Are we talking about the wrestler?
Talking about the wrestler, the actor
Okay,
wrestler. No, I like it. I like some of his movies. Don't get me wrong. and this is not a hating thing, you know, because he's prettier than me, which he is, or because he's more muscular, which clearly he is. But what I don't like about The Rock is that he's fake as fuck. And so when Rogan got in trouble, okay, with the first round of his barrage, The Rock came out and said, "Hey, Joe, I support you," after his first apology. He's like, "I support you." By the way, do you see my shirt? You see what it says? Can you read?
Where's Hunter?
Yeah, that's a Hunter Biden shirt. It's back
Oh,
when he
no shit.
Yeah, it's back when
You
he
see
was.
my-
I can't see you. You got Mike Sawyer up there. You're not showing right now.
Oh, how do I got to figure out how to show you. What do I do this? Oh, video. Okay. All this time.
Let me see. I got to make the screen. You're good, but I got to make the screen bigger right now. I've got the. Let me stop share.
Fuck you.
Okay, lifttheband.net. What the fuck is that? Is that an Asian guy on his? Do you have an Asian guy bending over? Is that an Asian man bent over? And is that somebody humping him in the back? Like, what am I looking at right now?
Fucking Charlie Hustle, man.
Who the fuck's Charlie Hustle?
Pete Rose.
That's Pete Rose?
Yeah. It's a sketch of Pete Rose. Lift the band.
That's the worst sketch of Pete Rose I've ever seen. It looks like a sumo guy in the middle.
Fucking Pete Rose. It looks just like him.
Can I talk about John Riggins for a second? And
can I talk about Pete Rose after you talk about John Riggins?
Do you know that I met Pete Rose in Vegas, which I find to be fucking hilarious? After he gets busted, he gets busted for gambling on himself, and he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. And I meet him in fucking Vegas. I had pictures. I don't know where they are, but of Pete Rose and I in Vegas. A long time ago, which I thought was hilarious because he's in trouble.
That is hilarious.
Go ahead with Pete Rose. Go ahead and continue.
Or do you want to talk about John Riggins first?
Well, but we're on Pete Rose right now, baby. Let's fire away.
Pete Rose. So you just said that Pete Rose should be in the Hall of Fame,
without question, without even a second shadow of a doubt, because he didn't bet on himself. He bet on himself.
I'm gonna keep your opinion aside from mine.
Okay.
And for so many years, I have been fuck yeah, Pete Rose, goddamn Hall of Fame. That's crazy. You know what I mean? He didn't bet on himself. Blah,
Okay.
blah, blah.
You had my old opinion, and you developed a new opinion. I like that. So where did your opinion go? New. I like this because I like to learn. I'm curious.
It didn't.
Okay.
But what it did do was I asked myself, why defend your case? Why do you feel that? And the truth is, I don't have a case. It's just, I don't know all the facts about what went down. And so I would like to know why I think that Pete Rose should be in the Hall of Fame.
Oh, so you've come full circle back to curiosity as to why you feel that way.
Yeah, because I can't defend it.
Here's the way here's the thing. What he did as a manager shouldn't impact. First of all, what he did as a manager is debatably awesome. Like, you bet on your team, but as a player, that's a separate issue. So it's sort of like, okay, you do your whole career as a player, and then after you've retired. So let's pretend Pete Rose retired instead of becoming a manager where he's still part of MLB. He retires, and let's say he decides he wants to, do what a lot of athletes do. They start a brand new life, and they become, maybe they become controversial figures. Maybe they become advocates of social justice. Maybe at some point they do something controversial, because everything's controversial. What Pete Rose did on the field as a player has nothing to do with what he did as a manager. And as a manager, you can still say he bet on his own fucking team. Yes, he tried to run up the score. Running up a score in baseball is not an easy thing. It's not like, oh shit, I'm gonna fucking jack up 3 extra runs real quick. Like, what are you gonna leave your pitcher in for an extra 7 pitches because you know what I'm saying? And
yeah, so if by your
I'm saying you
argument.
should separate.
You're saying that
Rose
being
is
a
a player.
manager
Pete Rose is a
separate.
manager. Correct. It's like being retired from your baseball career for which you would be. He's not being judged for the Hall of Fame as a manager. As a manager, he doesn't belong in the Hall of Fame.
Where does it say that those two things are separate?
Well, it's a
Or do they
separate
have to be?
job. It's a separate job. It's two different jobs. It's like you were a great quarterback.
Is a manager technically on the roster?
I don't know that. I mean, it doesn't matter to me. It's still players different than everybody fucking knows a player is different than a manager. You know what I mean? Manager's not going out and hitting fucking 3,000 RBIs in their career. You know, whatever the hell ridiculous number of shit that Pete Rose did. He's not diving first into home plate with his beautiful
So
lock.
when Pete Rose finally apologized, why don't you think they let him in?
Because he apologized. You never fucking apologize. Never. No matter what you do, unless it's just a horrific. Apologies are like putting blood in the water. The chum is there. And the fucking jackals we talked about earlier, they're just going to come attack you. Apologies are viewed as good things to a certain segment of society. And that those people are good people. And those people should be praised for actually accepting an apology and being like, wow, that person apologized. I'm one of those people. You're one of those people. I accept apologies. But there's jackals that just want to see people fucking fail. And those people, that's why you don't apologize, because those jackals have a lot of power. Those are the people on Twitter that have nothing to do and no lives, that just want to tell you you're a piece of shit because everybody else is telling them that they should think you're a piece of shit. So that's why you don't apologize. It's their piranha, like human piranha. So when Pete Rose did that, that was probably even before the Twitter age, but he still got those jackals. They came for him. They came for him hard. And he does not deserve that. The guy is actually a really fucking good dude. There was a fucking all balls out baseball player and a bad motherfucker on that field and gave 100%. And absolutely should not be shunned for what he did outside of his career. And it's a fucking travesty. And by the way, we're listening to the song The Hurricane right now, which is another travesty about a boxer. So Bob Dylan's Hurricane song.
Yeah.
You know this song. But again,
I do.
These travesties, these athlete travesty songs. You know, Pete Rose is still doing well. He's going to be able to eat. But the fact that he can't sit where he's supposed to be is fucking sad. Now, Riggins.
You know what I think is a shame? I think it's a shame that, because I think it matters to Pete Rose. There's a lot of ball players out there that it don't fucking matter to, you know,
Like
and they know, like Riggins. They know what they were. They know that they deserved to be in the Hall of Fame, and you could take your Hall of Fame and shove it up your ass.
Shove it up your ass. Pete Rose gave 100%. He knows he belongs there. And so does you know what's going to be sad? It's going to happen after he's fucking dead. After people die, human beings suck. They don't appreciate.
And his daughter ought to publicly tell them to shove it up their ass.
You got to publicly say those things. You know, get that. And by the way, that's controversy. If you apologize, that's not news. If you say go shove it up your ass, that's a very good story. But again, you know, we don't appreciate people that are here. When the other day, for example, when you actually, I've been thinking a lot about the 3 people that would be at dinner, a lot, and the answer changes like I thought it would constantly. Have you thought about that since we had that conversation? Because you never gave me a fucking answer. At the end of the day,
I didn't get it. I gotta think, motherfucker. I did research. No. I did research last night.
Okay.
I did research last night. Okay. Yeah. So, and it wasn't on the 3 people I'd have dinner with. I actually pulled a couple things up to talk about. I wasn't gonna talk about it now.
Let's do it in a second. 3 people that you have dinner with. You pull it up. So when you didn't have an answer, I'm like, dude, you're a fucking sports fan. Like, you're a boxer. Like, you wouldn't put Muhammad Ali on there or Sugar Ray Robinson, or you wouldn't grab like an old entertainer, or you wouldn't grab like fucking John Wayne or fucking.
It's not that. It's not that. I'm afraid to say anybody because I think they'll be a better person. So like I'm gun shy to even say anybody. What I need to do is just have fun with it and just say whoever I want to say,
and then we
just keep thinking of it.
We can change it because I mean, even Jesus, after the fact, I was like, Jesus would be the perfect answer. That in the Bible, Jesus had the best wine ever. So he'd sit there and I mean, he was fucking fun. You could party out with Jesus all day. Plus, he's gonna guide you in the right way. Everybody who was friends with Jesus and believed in him made tremendous amounts of money. He wasn't some fucking pauper. They try to say Jesus is a socialist. No, everybody that was actually part of his crew was fucking wealthy and had great success. So yeah, Jesus is good, but you could, for me, a lot. Again, going back to where you wait till people get dead to appreciate them. I started thinking, I'm like, let me really think about who I'd actually like to have dinner with, and I was like, Chappelle, Joe Rogan, and fucking throw in some other comedian that's alive right now, or Richard
Russell Brand.
Russell Brand, he'd be perfect there. Russell Brand probably, he's too fast and talks too much. So, and Rogan's slower, and Chappelle wouldn't be able to get in. I'd like to have dinner with Russell Brand alone. You know what I mean? Because we'd fucking vibe like that. But for the three dynamic, I'd go Rogan, Chappelle, because they're good friends, and then I'd throw in like Richard Pryor or Eddie Murphy, and watch everybody just shut the fuck up, and let them do their thing. Let Rogan interview Eddie, interview Richard Pryor, and just be there for that. But it doesn't have to be somebody who's dead. You don't have to be like, oh, somebody who died 100 years. Mark Twain, Joe Rogan, and Chappelle. Fucking amazing. Because Mark Twain was the original stand-up comic. He was the first. He was the first stand-up comic that existed. Really, when you look at the art of comedy, is real young. Twain was, arguably the first, the satirist, and I don't know if satirist sounds fucking, wrong. Satirist is probably properly pronounced, enunciated.
Satirist. Hey, Eric, I gotta get Patrick in here.
And you gotta eat for dinner. What did your family make you for dinner?
Fuck if I know. I'm still waiting.
They said dinner was ready like an hour ago. Do you know what they made?
I think they had some chicken up there or something. I don't know.
Like regular baked chicken?
Probably. Yeah, the chickens you buy from that are like the pre-baked things. And
those are great.
Made like mashed potatoes and shit.
With real potatoes, or do you guys use the fake shit?
Fake, usually. I mean, unless it's Thanksgiving or something.
I'm curious as to what the Langs are eating to feed their kids to get them ready to be pro fighters.
You can't. With all these people, you got to go.
You got to go cheap.
Yeah.
You got to go on the big.
That's why we're all getting fat.
It's tough to actually. You're right. It's tough to stay thin eating that type of food. So you know what I watched with my wife the other day was Loudon Swain. Do you know who Loudon Swain is?
No.
Yes, you do. Vision Quest, one of the greatest movies.
Oh fuck yeah! Okay.
That, by the way, that movie should be remade. That movie should be remade.
Because he wasn't that dominant. I mean, that could be remade.
That movie is mesmerizing to rewatch. First of all, the movie's fucking incredible. But Loudon Swain in that movie, he's charming, but technically he tried to rape a girl in that movie. They'd have to keep.
That's like the pre Dolph Lundgren.
It kind of but he was not a great actor. Like if you look, that was the introduction of Madonna. Madonna was introduced to Vision Quest, and she got
for you.
I'm crazy for you. Actually, I'll play it, but that soundtrack is a fire soundtrack. But the movie is so good. Cooch, his friend, they could easily remake that because people don't even know it exists anymore. It's basically Rocky for wrestling.
You know what I kind of put that in, and I know I'm as far as box office, one was enormous, and Vision Quest was under the radar.
Correct.
But Top Gun could be remade, I think.
Yeah, it could. It really could. I mean, Val Kilmer is a beast, and Tom Cruise. I kind of want him to come out of the closet, but I still think that he's a hell of an actor. You know what I mean? I wish he'd just be free with his. I don't care. I'm just kidding. I don't care who does what. But Tom Cruise and Val Kilmer is one of the most underrated actors in history. He's out fucking standing. And you watch him in Tombstone, you can't tell me that guy didn't deserve a fucking Academy Award for his Tombstone. His Doc Holliday,
oh yeah, the fucking greatest ever.
one of the greatest performances in history.
I
So
shouldn't say greatest.
it really is one of the great performances of.
His big line in that was a mistake, right?
Which one?
I'm your Huckleberry.
Yeah, you sent me that article. Explain it to the audience. Really fucking interesting.
It's so a pallbearer or a hucklebearer. So what he was meant to say was, "I'll be your hucklebearer," meaning I'll carry your dead body.
Yeah.
And instead, I don't know if he read it wrong or whatever, but he said, "I'm your Huckleberry," and they just kept it in, and it just became very famous.
It's have you ever had huckleberry in general, the fruit?
No, I didn't know it was real.
It's a phenomenal fruit. So there's a huckleberry vodka that I always I've made best friends because of this vodka, and I keep it at the house. If you get a huckleberry vodka, you could drink it warm and alone and be like, this is the best vodka I've ever had. It's amazing. Every time I drink it, I think about Val Kilmer. Every time I think about your story now. But go ahead.
No, I'm gonna run up and eat.
Go eat. Let's get rolling. We can do this. If he comes back, we can talk fighting. Otherwise, let's shut it down. We've covered a lot of fun.
Okay. I'm sorry to run, man. I'm just, the kids are here and I want to go make it.
You should. Let's go spend time with our families. I love you, man. Have a good one.
All right, brother.
Thank you, man. All right, bye.
Bye-bye.